Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Bob's Liquors. Bob's Liquors wants to wish all of their customers a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Don't fret when it comes to buying the perfect gift. Bob's has you covered. Whether you select a bottle of wine or bourbon or even a gift card, something from Bob's Liquors will make anybody happy. Bob's Liquors has 2 convenient locations to serve you in Ferdinand and, of course, right in our backyard here in Holland. Also, don't wait to begin your New Year's Eve planning. Bob's Liquors has you covered to rock in 2025. Bob's Liquors and the Wondering Dutchman want to remind everyone to enjoy responsibly. Must be 21 or older to purchase from Bob Liquors and always designate a driver.
The Wondering Dutchman podcast.
Where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wondering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah. The Wondering Dutchman. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Wondering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Bob's Liquors, and we are here in God's country, the best part of God's country, the southwest part of Dubois County here in southern Indiana. I am Esquire, and welcome. Glad to have you with us. Sitting over there with the rose-colored glasses and the turquoise turtle, by way of Richmond, Indiana. Got the turquoise ring on, too, with the cheesehead koozie, keeping them booze lights cold. It's our buddy Smoke Dragon.
Hello.
Sitting here in the middle with the mustache. It's got a little gray in that mustache.
One white, the great white whisker.
Yeah. Since you're 38 now, you're getting old. Not as old as Dave, but you're getting there. You're getting up there. It's our buddy, Big Mace.
Hey, guys.
Fellas, what do we have going on?
Well, been a pretty big week here at the Smoker household.
Go ahead.
Oldest boy, Wyatt A. Smoker, is now a licensed driver.
Oh, hot damn.
What's A stand for?
Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Got the same middle name as his old man.
David Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's the big news around here. That's been like a weird thing. Like, I forget some days 2 years, he'll be out. He'll be on to better things, bigger and better things.
Greener pastures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He gone.
It happens, bub.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
But
You
that's
gotta
always been real new here.
Feed them well.
Yeah.
They won't forget. Same thing. I mean, I don't have any kids driving or nothing, but we got basketballing and we're going to a concert in real time. We're recording on a Friday. Tomorrow night, December the 14th, 2024.
We tried, boys.
We're going to go see Chris Knight.
We tried to get him on the show.
Yeah, but he's got a busy
guy.
schedule. He's pretty busy schedule. But I'm gonna go over and see what he's got all about. I know 2 songs that he sings pretty well.
God dang.
I like 2 of them. So we'll see how it goes. We're sitting pretty close to the bar, so if all else fails, I'll just have to
Do you think it's really just the
get right.
local beer there?
I hope not, but I don't know. The last time we went there, remember when we went to see Uncle Todd at the Astra? Casey, I'm talking to you now.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember when we went there to see Uncle Todd?
Blast.
They only were serving the schnitz, that beers, weren't they? Or did they have domestics at that time?
I thought they had domestics.
I don't remember, but I just remember that they had it there.
Open for domestics.
Yeah. If not, I'm gonna
I'll tell you what, Chris Knight, we're gonna listen to him some tonight.
keister some whiskey or something.
But and we got I don't know what we're all gonna ride in, but we do have a
Licensed.
designated driver.
Right. Well, if we get done with dinner early, we could just come back here, meet up with you, Jens, and then we can just take White Lightning over there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
White Lightning.
I'll
'Cause
let
we're
him
probably
go.
going to drop off Wild Bill at the in-laws.
Mhm.
He's going to hang out over there, and then we'll just snag him up on the way through. I bet old Gary Geisler would have a beer for us when we got done, just in case it's that bad at the show, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we could probably make that work.
I think that'll make that work. Yeah, that's pretty good. Something that came out newsworthy. Do you guys remember the Duke lacrosse rape case
Nope.
back in early 2000s?
Wait.
Yes. You probably
Maybe.
do. 3 white Duke lacrosse players.
Oh,
And then the African American
I
lady.
thought you meant like a man named like he's
Duke Lacrosse.
They called me Duke Lacrosse, but
Oh,
no, I
that'd be
do remember
That'd be a
the
kick-ass name.
lacrosse team from Duke University. Yes.
So 18 years later, the accuser in that case, because see, this all went to trial.
Yeah.
They were found not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So the accuser in this case now, 18 years later, has come out and said it was all a lie.
It's a sham.
And she's sitting in prison for murdering an ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, I guess he's an ex now because he did. But T's and P's to him.
Bitch.
But 18 years later,
What do you think made her change her tune?
she's sitting in prison. But anyways, I saw it today as it came across the news feed, and I had forgotten about
Whoops.
it. Because think about it. So the prosecutor in the case was disbarred because he hid DNA evidence that proved that it didn't happen. I mean, these guys went to trial like they could be sitting in prison.
Wow. So he was disbarred for lying
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And then now she comes out and admits that she was lying.
Well, and the crazy thing of it is the statute of limitations for perjury in the state of North Carolina is 2 years.
What a trifling asshole.
But 18 years later, she finally comes out and says, it was all a lie. I mean, most people, like back then when the case was kind of unfolded in the public eye, felt the same way. But one of the questions in the comments that was posed was, when are you going to, in these situations, hold individuals accountable for like a lie like this? Like these guys could be sitting in prison for
Sure.
rape, and it's, I don't know. I just saw
What
it
about taxpayer dollars for the daggone
trial of 3 individuals.
mhm.
That's a lot that went through.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Were they ever incarcerated, those boys?
I think they bonded out, which kind of made it worse because they were.
That's still on your record, isn't it?
I don't know if they went through the process to get that taken care of or not.
Like when if you were
Charged.
you're charged but not
Mm.
convicted, or they weren't.
Well,
convicted,
so if
huh?
you're charged, and even like if you enter a pretrial diversion that doesn't have a conviction, it will still on your record show that you were charged with the crime.
okay,
But they probably went through the process to have that.
Expunged.
Yeah,
expunged.
but I mean, it's a case that's had national
Yeah.
notoriety to where it was
Oh, I went to school at Duke. Play any sports? Yeah, I was a lacrosse player. What year?
2006.
Now, what year were you there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Also coming across the news feed, Morgan Wallen has been sentenced to 7 days incarcerated at a DUI detention center after being found guilty of chair throwing.
Now, God dang it. What did Bob Knight ever get charged with?
Well, I don't think he threw
So
it.
I seen an interview the other day where Bob Knight was actually just trying to supply a handicapped woman a chair.
That's all Morgan Whalen was doing.
No, he was trying to injure people.
He chucked that son of a bitch off the 3rd floor of Eric Church's bar.
Bob Knight
down
actually made
eye contact.
eye contact with this handicapped gal that was sitting across
And
the
he
court.
chucked a chair at her.
Slid it to her.
Yeah. Hopefully
Now,
she can make it.
How was she going to get in the chair?
Sit down.
I thought she was handicapped,
She is.
but she was standing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She wasn't paralyzed.
Oh,
She wasn't a vegetable.
I just thought
She probably had her foot in a boot, or you know what I'm talking about, or like in crutches or something.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
By the way, we've we talked about the rug pulling of Haktua Girl.
Yeah.
She has been radio silent since December 4th.
I wouldn't
So-
mind to see her do some time on this dick.
Oh boy.
She
Hey, we're
got a
off
set
to
of
a hot
cans
start.
on her.
Does she?
Yeah, she got some titties. Yeah,
I mean, everybody's got titties.
I got titties, Greg. Can you milk me? Nipples, I mean.
Nipples, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That just come across the old X feed from our friend Elon,
Haley Welch.
and we were talking about it. But I found that all 3 of those very interesting. But the Haktua Girl going radio silent after bilking people for millions of dollars.
She knew she screwed up. You think?
Yeah, but you can't get them people their money back.
No.
I mean, she ain't got that kind of cash laying around.
Never know, man.
Not for what they.
How many millions was it?
I feel like it's just a couple, huh?
No, I thought it got into like the 20
Hundreds?
millions.
Oh,
Well, but it wasn't just her.
Well, it was whoever releases that crypto stuff.
Right. So, I mean, she probably got a percentage, but somebody else, she didn't
hey,
like.
speaking of money scandals and whatnots and paying back, did you see the Fortnite squad? You see that?
Nope.
72 million.
I did see that.
Fortnite has to pay back $72 million in
Restitution?
bogus V-Bucks stuff. They were found guilty of like scamming
Kiddos.
people into buying V-Bucks. They said on average, for every person that was involved in this, will receive $143 back.
Wow.
Yeah, in V-Bucks. Yeah.
Have you guys?
I think $20 got you 1,000. Weston was always asking for that for Christmas.
So you think
I
you're gonna
had
get some
Max's
cash?
Epic game account screwed up to where it wouldn't. Just couldn't figure it out. Like he's probably got. I bet he's got 50 or 60 US dollars worth of V-Buck cards at home right now, with no console to play on and no Epic Games account. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
One more thing from the internet on X there. Did you see that there's a documentary with an OnlyFans model that slept with 100 men in one day?
The British gal.
And
She took it like a champ.
No, there was a
no.
world record of some British gal that did like 1,000 dudes in 24 hours.
No. This is so. Hold on. So this girl, her name's Lily Phillips. They were doing like a documentary where she slept with 100 men in one day. But like in the doc, like some of the clips that were shared out on social media, like you just see it on her face where like I made a big mistake. But then like she's going for 1,000 in one day, which I don't know. Like it's a wild thing, like what people do. Like file that under just what the hell.
Yeah, it's
Lily Phillips. I mean,
She's different than the one you're talking about.
she's kind of a looker. Really? No, this is the girl I'm talking about.
Okay.
all right.
Right?
But have you seen some of the clips like where she's like it's very dramatic, like and not in a good way, like a drama. So
Like in just ruined
This
my
is
own
like
life.
a Lily
go.
Phillips 101 clips, I guess, maybe. Well, we're not allowed to get on Pornhub in Indiana anymore, so we can't actually watch the real clips. But yeah. Oh, wow. She's
You calling it a night, babe?
well, nighty night. See you tomorrow.
but that's all I got on the internet here.
Poor thing. Boy, I bet she looked like a worn out catcher's glove by the end of that next day.
Probably sore.
Oh, I'd imagine. Son of a buck.
Yeah.
100 of them, huh? That's weird. Why would you do that?
Because she's an OnlyFans model and
Starving for money, maybe?
thought it was maybe a good idea.
Attention.
Starving for the D.
Yeah. I don't know. In other news, update on the hot tub.
Uh-oh.
Pretty good shape. Kind of got the water all figured out. Papa Frank went over to local pool company.
That a baby.
Uh,
J-Cam?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's who it is. And I've got the water crystal clear. I just haven't had a chance to sit in it yet.
Nice.
Been a little busy. But
You want to go right now when we're done?
Janelle would love that if she looked out our bedroom window and see all three of us sitting in there.
You definitely have to put more water in it tomorrow.
Yeah, probably. New headrest on there, too, because the other ones
Ooh.
had broke.
Headrests?
Well, yeah, because on the tub, you don't want to just put your head on it. Come on.
Wow.
This is top-notch operation. So, going to get in it soon, hopefully. Probably going to need to do it to warm up after golf tomorrow.
Good deal.
Yeah, that is. So, all right. Hey, little good intro there. Thank you to Dubois County Tire and Supply.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Santa saw you on the nice list. Santa also saw the tread on your tires. If you're starting to get down to the wear bars, don't wait till the new year to get that much-needed set of Mastercraft tires. Snow, sleet, and ice are coming. Don't be driving around on racing slicks. It's a matter of safety for not only you, but those you share the road with. See Zeth and the crew at Dubois County Tire and Supply today. Dubois County Tire and Supply would also like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, big fella, what you got?
Well, I had a particular situation happen to me last night that left me speechless.
Mm.
And that doesn't happen to me very often at all. I came in first person personal contact with a 150,000% rule follower.
To the T, huh?
I'm talking like, holy moly. And
Not the 811 company.
this guy was wearing the zebra stripes.
Oh, little basketball official, huh?
Yeah, he was wearing the zebra stripes and was very critical. I'm not a referee. I'm not an umpire. I'm not an official of any kind.
Uh-huh.
I am just simply a fan, a father, and a bookkeeper.
Yep.
Or a time clock operator, which I suck at miserably because my ADD kind of takes over.
Yeah, time clock's probably not your
And
forte.
I got that remote in my hand where I'm trying to, like, on the inbound. So when the referee's hand drops, like when they put the ball in play and the hand drops, that's when you click the button.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm really enthralled with the play and I'll forget to click it. And then you'll hear some people up in the clock, clock, screaming at me. Oh, shit, fuck, hit the button, whatever. Last night, we had a gentleman come in to referee. And without beating around the bush, he was just not having it. He was not putting up with any bullshit. It was his world, and you were just living in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's
The
Kind of the
general.
referee.
He's the general, And I just the thing that it kind of prompted me to think about in your guys' either profession or lives or day-to-day travels. Do you know any like just hardcore rule followers?
Mm-hmm.
Like people that are just super critical, that they're kind of uptight. They don't really relax much. They just absolutely cannot fathom steering from the path. You know what I mean? Like just it's got to be by the book or we're not doing it at all. Like, do you know anybody like that?
I don't know. Sure, I do.
Yeah.
I'm like that with some things, but not all things.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like that about some things, but not all things.
Situationally, you need to be that way.
Yeah.
Like there's some things like, yeah.
But sixth grade basketball is not one that I would think you would need to be that way.
Not at the top of the list. No.
No, like not at all.
No.
So much so that we've got a young gal that plays on the squad that has some freshly pierced ears.
Yeah.
Take them out.
Yeah, well, you don't have to. You can put tape over them,
yeah.
or Band-Aids, right? Well, this guy goes, technically, in the book, it says that it's up to me whether or not I let her play or not because she puts me at a liability. If she gets hurt, it's my fault. And then I probably overstepped my bounds. I probably outkicked my coverage a little bit.
Yeah.
I probably didn't stay in my lane. But I said, well, this is the fifth game they've played, and you're the first person that's ever said anything about it. And a fellow redheaded feller that was keeping the scoreboard with me, he said, well, yeah, the other guys that ref usually have about 500 years in between them reffing. And, yeah, they never said nothing either, Well, I mean, it's okay, guys. I mean, it's fine. Since we're already midway through the second quarter and I'm just now catching it, I'm not going to say nothing, But had I seen this at the beginning of the game, I would have had to address it.
Obviously, he's not a very good official if that's...
Well, and there again...
What kind of miserable life do you got to have?
So there,
to have to swing your cock around.
You have smelled what I'm stepping in, brother, man. You have got it. You have hit the nail. You have found it. You have struck oil. Super Troopers is a real thing, and I can't stand them. I can't stand them. How miserable must it be that a man that gets just a little bit of par, you know what I mean? Like, I bet you that mother
grade girl.
I bet you that son of a bitch could barely fit through the door. His head was so big when he got done. I mean, he gave a 6th grade girls basketball coach a technical foul for questioning a travel call. And me and the guy keeping the clock were like, I mean, she traveled. She took 4 steps. That wasn't a Euro. She walked. That was a travel if I've ever seen one. And the poor guy was getting beat like a drum. Like our girls, we played exceptionally well. And that squad, they had a few things to work on. They didn't have much talent. I mean, in their defense, you know what I mean? Maybe one girl out of the 5 that could handle the ball. You know, we're talking taking shots from about 20 foot and hitting about 6 foot over on the backboard, you know, barely clipping the corner, like not even remotely close to the rim, you know, like just a little barnyard action, you know?
Yeah.
And the guy was frustrated. I felt for him. Young kid, you know, no kids on the team, probably no skin in the game at all, just decided to help out the program and coach. And this guy, in my opinion, and if he listens to the show, man, I'm sorry, but you were being a douche. And it just made me uncomfortable. And it really took everything I had to sit there and just listen to this unfold, because I was like, man, you're a tool. You know, I don't know. Do you know, I mean, I'm not looking for you to name drop or anything, but I mean, do you know anybody like that? Like just,
I've
like a hardcore, Mr. Smithers type, you know,
like in the officiating world, or
no. I mean, just in general. Like, do you know somebody that's just like, they get just a shade of power, or they get they just think they know everything and they just take it to the extreme?
None that I know, because I'm a big believer in be around the people you want to be around.
Amen.
So
Amen.
I don't.
Amen.
And I've never really, in all my years of coaching, like umpire wise, I think with my personality, and I'm a firm, I know, like where I'm at in the pecking order of coaching. Like, I'm coaching middle school baseball, and the last thing I'm going to do is mother truck an umpire about something.
Player development too.
Yeah, player development. That's true.
Don't sell yourself
Yeah,
short.
but like in my personality on a lot of things, I've made some coaching mistakes where I've just let it fly, where I just yell, and it's not beneficial for anybody.
You ever been tossed?
No, I've never been.
I have.
The only technical there was one year, our buddy Teddy Hoops, he was the varsity coach, and I was coaching that group that was Colson, Ethan Bell, Cam Gatt. Like, we were a good basketball team. And we had it was a morning, I don't know if it was a morning game, but I think we were playing Perry Central or Tell City. And Colson, as a basketball player, like, I think he probably was pretty close to dunking in 8th grade. And if he listens to the show, he may say I could. But he had a close call where he was almost undercut by a guy going up for a layup on a fast break, and they didn't call it. And I told those guys, and I know the 2 officials, and one of them lives right here in Holland, Indiana. I said, he's going to get hurt because they're going to undercut him, and I'm going to lose my mind. Like, you missed one, like, it's going to happen. And so it happened again, and they called the foul, but I lost my mind, and I was out past half court where I met the referee coming to make the call, because I was pissed, because I told the official, I said, this is what's going to happen. And I said, you let it happen because you didn't take control of it the first time. I didn't curse at him. I didn't do anything like that, but I got heated because it was a player safety issue. And I just let it go, and he teed me up. And I looked back, and because I was like, I couldn't believe he teed me up, but then also, like, I feel like I didn't get my money's worth. And the one official coming back that didn't make the call was a classmate of mine, good friend, and I won't name drop him, but I said, hey, I was like, I told you guys this was going to happen. It happened, and you don't expect me to react like that when it's player safety because he's laying on the ground hurt now, and all you guys can do is just call foul when it was a dirty play. They're getting beat by – I mean, it was going to turn into a bloodbath. Like I was very conscious about you're going to come out because we're going to play other kids. We're up 20-25. It wasn't quite there yet, and and he's like, well, I mean, I know, I can see where you're upset. And he goes, I hate to tell you this, but you got to sit down now because that's the rule in IHSA. You get a technical, your ass is on the bench. Like you can get up to call timeouts, but you can't get up to coach. And I never sat down. I always walked the sideline. Like part of it was I didn't want to sit for 2 hours. And so I would a lot of times I'd stand at the end of the bench and just move back and forth. And it was the worst time ever. And I think that was in the first half because when we were in halftime, I was still chirping. And because one of the guys, because if you knew Colson's grandpa out there, I'm trying to think of his name.
He passed away, Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl Powell.
Oh, he'd motherfucker an official from Tuesday on. And so, and he said, I'll go down there and coach. You get you another one, coach. Get you another. And but I mean, by second half, we'd pulled away like it wasn't even close. But it didn't take long. We got done, talked in the locker room, and I got a text from Teddy Hoops. And he's like, hey, heard you got a T. I was like, yeah. So I was the only coach that year. And Teddy's a fiery coach. Have you ever seen Teddy on the sidelines?
Oh, yeah.
But it was funny because that year I was the only coach of all boys Southridge Raider basketball to get a technical. And it was on like a Saturday morning against Tell City. But that's the only time. But so like in baseball, a lot of those kids don't have like the cognizant ability. Like I'm gonna buzz the tower and throw one at a kid's head. We get some mouthy kids that start chirping and that fires me up because I hate that shit. But nothing. I mean, the closest I ever had, I think I've told the story before, but Dubois where, catcher picks one out of the dirt and calls it a strike. And I was like, I don't think that's a strike. He goes, what did I call it a strike? I was like, yeah. And I was like, it's no use talking to him. So I don't chirp it. I don't do it because I think it sets a bad example for players. And then parents think they can get away with it. And so if I'm not losing my mother, and I have a lot of conversation in between innings. Like that's the secret to good coaching. You don't have to there's certain situations where you got to make the big scene, but there's also a lot of times where you can get further along when you walk up to that official and you say, hey, listen, I know you called what you called, but this is how I saw it. This is what they're doing. And sometimes they're not going to listen to you. And then it kind of escalates because then if it does happen, you lose your mind. But I've always found that to be my strategy.
Well, in this particular situation, this guy wasn't being arrogant. This guy wasn't doing anything. He was just simply
calling a game. For some of those officials, they talk to other guys that officiate and they tell them like they have to take control of like the game and do that part so it doesn't get out of hand. But like that year I did a ton of 5th grade boys and girls basketball games here at Holland. Like there's some things you just let slide because it ain't worth the fight.
Yeah, and I think in particular, like at the 6th grade level, 7th grade level, stuff like that, you need to be critical of some things, but other things you're just like, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
whatever.
I get it.
I don't know. I just
bothered you.
Real sticklers.
Yeah. We've all heard of the Department of Government Efficiency, the old Doge with Vivek and Elon. And it got me thinking, if you could go through and do an audit to make your personal life more efficient, is there anything you guys would do or like cut out? Like, I mean, and obviously you could probably say this podcast is probably a big time suck at times, but like, is there anything like where you could save some time to be more efficient, or is your day already pretty efficient?
I feel like I spend my time pretty efficiently. I'm never going to have it. You're never going to have enough of it. I used to be a hopeless procrastinator.
That strikes me as that's surprising.
And I still am a procrastinator, but I'm aware of it. I think it's like being an alcoholic. Like you hear somebody like, yeah, I haven't had a drop in 14 years, but I'm an alcoholic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like that. But first place I worked out of school is my boss called me out on it. And he was like, well, if you wouldn't be procrastinating so goddamn much. I was like, procrastinate? I'm one of the busiest people here. He's like, procrastinators always are.
Yeah.
And I was like, that doesn't even make sense. And I thought about it. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm the whole ass reason I'm behind all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like super aware of it now. So I try not to dilly-dally too much. So I'm pretty Johnny on the spot and you can't be that way on everything or else you just go crazy. So there's some things that just through the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People training.
Yeah.
Big rocks, little rocks, some of the big shit you just ain't going to mess with without and mess with the little shit. So some you got to let go. So I'm selective. I let that shit go, and you got to have a lazy day every once in a while.
Yeah. What about you?
Man, I'm lazy as shit, and it's showing more now than it ever has. And I'm trying to do things to rectify those issues. You know what I mean? But my biggest complaint is that when I come home after work, after let's just say like a 30 yard concrete day, which is not really that much if you think about
4 trucks.
About 4.5 on a finish up maybe, but depending on what, other like concrete contractors pour 3 times that in a day. Like it's like, I'm not saying that, but like for a fat bastard street department worker every now and then, it's kind of rough, on a crew. We got quite a bit of things going, and everything. But when I come home from work, a lot of times I'll just like pull in the driveway and I'll read the mail. Like I'll get the mail and I'll pull in the driveway. And ever since I got that Wi-Fi in my garage, like really close to where I park, like I can jump on, like my phone automatically connects to it. And then I'll just sit there and like scroll or check emails or do whatever like that. And then I'll find myself waking up like an hour later. Like I'll just doze off in my car and sleep in the driveway. Because like today, it was funny because I heard the warden, she said, hey, I'll get the kids from Champions Club. You go ahead home. I'll see you there. So I heard him pull up, and then I just like I had turned on actually Steel Woods, the album with the straw in the wind and the axe and the well, that album, and I was listening to that and just kind of chilling in the car with the heater on, seat heater and shit like that. Like my back was fried from working and whatever. And I knew I was going to nod off because I was like, who gives a shit? Like, I don't have anywhere to be until 9, and she had the kids and everybody was taken care of. So I'm just going to chill and relax for a minute, leather seats, heated. It's pretty kind of nice.
Very nice.
And I heard Max, dribbling the basketball over there where his basketball hoops at, dribbling and shooting and stuff like that. I just like kind of subconsciously heard him. And then, she's like, where's your dad? And Max is like, he's in his car. And she's like, and I could hear her like, your dad's in his car? Is he asleep? And Max is like, yeah, probably. And then she goes, does he do that a lot? And I was like, come on, Max. No, not really. And I was like, yeah, boy. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't sell me out. He wasn't a stool pigeon, but I think if I come home from work and if I sit down before, like if I have a chore list.
Yeah, chore list is shot if you sit down.
Yeah, if I have to do the dishes, sort the laundry, take out the trash, do all these things, in between it's time for me to get home and then immediately start running kids, an hour later or whatever it is.
Yeah.
If I don't do anything productive as soon as I hit the driveway, screwed. My evening shot. I'm not going to do it.
That is probably one of the biggest things that I've really worked hard on is when I get home, I don't sit down.
Yeah.
Like when I look at my Apple Watch and like a lot of my stand time is all from about 5 o'clock on.
Yeah.
Because if I sit down in a recliner, get kind of cozy in,
game over.
It's out. Like I'll wake up, be like, then no motivation to do anything.
Right.
But when I first started, because it was a little change, doing a lot of the paper side of lawyering instead of like the litigating side of lawyering.
Lawyering.
Yeah. And
Boy, needs some lawyering.
and if you guys would look at my Outlook inbox, like at work, for how I have things set up, it would drive you nuts. Dave, it probably wouldn't because everything makes sense. But I have subfolders of things that I just know. I put it all in a catch. I have it's the regular inbox. It's a to-do folder. It's a catch-up folder. Then I've got an ongoing
Ketchup.
Yeah, like
Heinz.
no,
Hunts.
no.
I got you. I'm being stupid.
So then it's like an ongoing, awaiting more, ongoing, out for review, completed on my end, like, and then like it's a whole nest egg. And so first thing in the morning, it all goes into the catch up. So then if there's multiple emails in a thread, it's all there. And then just I organize by subject, and then it's just where does it need to go, and then I just start down the list, and it's a wild thing that I never thought I would ever do, but it's what I do to stay on top.
All mine have rules, and it's by sender, and I have folders for senders or folders for groups of senders of people of different groups, so it goes to the same place, so it's all organized somewhere. The problem is with Outlook is as soon as you make a subfolder, you don't get notifications that there's something in the inbox.
Yeah.
So if it's like a non-sorted one, then I get my little like, bong, like, you've got a new message. But if it's in a subfolder within the inbox, it won't send it.
Yeah.
The app on my phone just doesn't know. Real pain in the ass.
The biggest thing I've tried to stop doing is when I get to work, I put the phone in like a desk drawer, because the doom scrolling is a real thing when you're a desk jockey, and you just, and the next thing you know, 10 minutes is gone. Like I've noted, like I'll notice at times, like if things get a little bit slow, like it's brutal sometimes. So I don't know. I was just wondering if you guys,
Department of Government efficiency, but yeah, I would think that I would need like a full-time manager, just somebody to keep me locked in, and I think that's ADD at its finest, though. Like if I have a task at hand, like I think that's one way, like one place that I excel at. Is that like if I am told like, hey, you have to go do this and it needs to be done by this time.
you're a taskmaster.
Yeah. Like I could just lock in and do it if it's something that I'm interested in. If it's something that's like.
Nobody's telling you to come here.
Huh?
Nobody's telling you to come here.
What's that mean?
You've locked in for this for 2.5 years now.
Well, I'm obligated. I'm in. I mean, we're a tripod.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Some bitch can't stand on two legs.
Dave's into the tripod's just a touch longer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
At 1%.
Anyway, I just like I can really just lock in and do it. But if I had a list of like 20 things
Yeah.
that all needed to be done in like a general time frame, not good at it.
Really?
Because my task differentiation or prioritizing things, like something that I think
Analysis paralysis.
the thing that I think needs to be done first on that list is probably not what really needs to be done according to the list generator.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
The
author of the list just basically diarrheas this list on this paper, doesn't put them in like priority listing rankingness. And I just find one, that's a good one. I'll lock in on that and I'll get it done. Why in the did you do that first? That's not what I needed to be done. This did. And then I kind of think, why in the hell didn't you put a number on it then? You know what I mean? Or something like that. But like I can work off of a list, but I'm not good at like seeing things. Like I see them that they need to be done.
You can't see the chessboard.
No way, bro.
You're a good checkers guy.
Yes, sir.
Chessboard, no.
Terrible. Don't even know how to play.
I learned probably what helped most was early on in my career is what's a raging fire, what's just a fire, what's it's starting to burn a little bit, and what's not even showing smoke. And that because, that helped a lot to your problem of what to prioritize.
Yeah, there's a whole urgent and important, not urgent and not important, and it's always going to be two of them. And then you classify everything that way.
So maybe what
It's
you ought
almost
to
like
do
a medical thing, like a triage
for
where
your
you
list.
black tag and blue tags and
So
red.
you ought to go see one of our local print companies and get you some paper printed up and put it into those quadrants, and then you tell your list master, go ahead and put those things in those boxes, and that'll help improve what you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you get a list and you just look at one, like you lose the forest through the trees, that's a big thing too.
I'll have to suggest that to our mediator.
Yeah. I hope it works out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's time for a quick pause for the cause, brought to you by Love Excavating. Love Excavating is proud to sponsor this Pause for the Cause. Love Excavating wants to thank everyone for a great 2024 and hopefully an even better 2025. If you have a commercial or residential project, Love Excavating can handle it. From installing and repairing underground utilities, downspouts, footings, land clearing, drainage, and rock and sand hauling, Love Excavating can help you. Your friends at Love Excavating, including neighbor Doug, want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All right, Brother Dave, now that you're at a different altitude here, what you got?
Brother.
Well, so I was walking through the yard the other day looking for something.
What in the hell did you lose in the yard,
Yeah,
bro?
it wasn't something a lot. Here's the deal. We get trash blowing around. We got the dumpster,
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids, and I'm like, well, shit.
And on 161, people every once in a while probably toss out that ends up in the
And
yard.
I like the neighbors, and I don't want my trash. Like, worst thing ever be somebody, because I've got some neighbors with well-groomed yards, and I don't want them going and getting a piece of trash out of there and it say the smoker's on it or something.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I traipse out into the yard, and I kicked me, luckily, a pretty hard dog turd. All right?
Yep.
Pretty hard now. I didn't get the shoes gone or nothing. And I'm like, oh, god dang. Oh, that's weird. And I picked up the trash and walked back, and I see this kicked turd again. And it got me thinking, we always had dogs growing up. Big dogs, little dogs, all sorts of dogs. We just always had dogs. And I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but back in Richmond, in Wayne County, it was plenty common. Like dog shit, once it sat out for a while, would petrify and turn white. But this dog turd that I kicked had no white. And I've been looking at the dog turds now, and they ain't turning white.
Probably
Now,
fresh.
They're not fresh. And I thought, man, Dave, this is a real weird thing for you to be thinking about. And I did some research, and there's science behind why the dog turds ain't white.
It's their diet.
It's the dog food companies.
Yes.
Used to put a bunch of bone meal and calcium in there, or high calcium content stuff as fillers. But now I guess more. But weird thing. Like it's something I feel like there's a few things in your life that's a big change that maybe you'll notice when you're on your deathbed. And I think that's going to be one of them.
Dog poop doesn't turn white as often anymore because modern dog food contains less bone meal and calcium, which was a major contributor to the white color when it dried out in the sun. As the dog food quality improved, less of this excess calcium is present in their diet.
Excess.
Yeah, which was a major contributor to the white color dried out in the sun. As dog food quality improved, less of this excess calcium is present in their diet, and people are also more diligent about picking up dog poop promptly.
We're not.
So it doesn't have time to dry out and turn white as it used to. So is that saying that the dog food companies are, they're
better now?
They're improving their dog food's quality.
If you think about what has transpired as the one on the panel married to the veterinarian and knowing what people spend on their pets,
oh God, yeah.
that is a real big thing because my wife will recommend probably
Hill's Science Diet.
Bingo.
Did you know that is made in Richmond, Indiana?
Hill's Science Diet?
There's a Hill's Science Diet plant, right?
No shit.
Probably a mile and a half away crow flies from my childhood home.
I'll be
There you
darned.
go. But like Janelle, they recommend now that she doesn't go as crazy as like some of these people that do like the farmer's fresh dog or whatever.
Yeah, raw diet.
But
stuff, yeah.
she recommends Hill Science all the time. But it's because the makeup is right for dogs. And we've had, our dogs have done really well on what they have. But, shout out Papa Frank when they had the Beagles, his bag of crunchers from freaking Rural King. And that's what they ate.
Old Roy, baby.
We had Old Roy and Alpo. Lots of red dog shit.
Yeah.
Real red.
We'd get it at the Kent feed mill right down the street when the feed mill was still operational.
I don't know what
we always fed. That's what Dad would always say. Go down there. Hey, ride your bike down there at the mill and get your bag of dog food. We're about out of it.
I don't know what Nick carries. I don't know what brand he carries there.
Victor.
I was going to say it's a nice one because I had a buddy, old Ernesto from Reelsville. He said, "You ever hear of a feller runs a place called Ernie's Mill there?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "He sells this dog food my coon dogs need, and I can't find it anywhere."
Victor. I know that he used to carry Victor, and he used to carry son of a buck. We used to feed it because they had a grain-free option there for a while. And
Blue Buffalo.
no, dude, none of that stupid shit. Ruby had a skin allergy. She was real dry skinned, and so we would have to feed her a
Fish oil.
Yeah, well, that or it was like a Dermacap is what they called it, but we switched them to grain free quite some time ago, and now Gus is still on the old grain free.
So is that like the opposite of a vegetarian?
Yeah,
Just a carnivorous.
Yeah, that's I think old Bailey boy. I think he used to eat the Purina dog chow. That was his big thing.
We're pedigree folks here on the hill. I think is what we normally roll.
Speaking of Ruby, check this out. I got that from my buddy Chris.
Old Rubes.
Yeah,
you can hear him.
Ruby.
This is old Jack trying to get Ruby to shake.
Ruby, shake.
That's cool. That is cool. Yeah, we Janelle, our dogs eat Hill Science diet. She doesn't tell me the price.
Richers.
Yeah, well, some of that stuff like for Murphy's gut.
You gotta have perks, for being a vet.
Old Murph's gut was so bad that he finally settled in on this brand, and that kept him from
kept him regular.
Yes. And so he eats some kind of special
was it
diet.
Mr. Gardaki? He was the one. Please don't make me lick the white dog shit again.
Oh, from Step Brothers?
Yeah.
They don't make movies like that anymore. No. It's a shame.
Because there ain't no white dog shit no more.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah.
I know that's an off topic. It was just a weird thing that sometimes
no, but you know how many people
think there's a thing like, oh, did that really happen? And I'm like, God dang, what the hell?
The thing of it is there's going to be somebody riding in their car and they're going to sit there and be like, oh shit, Dave is right. I can't remember the last time I saw white dog poop. All right, it's time for Brado's 3 Big Things, brought to you by Merkley and Sons.
The fellows at Merkley and Sons want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in 2025. As you digest your Thanksgiving meal, it's not too early to start planning your Christmas and New Year's dinner. Whether you're thinking about beef or pork, you can't go wrong as long as you stop in at Merkley's. Also, ladies, don't forget that the special man in your life really only wants Merkley's bacon for Christmas, and maybe a box of seasoned patties to go with it. Get over and see Bradley, John Boy, and Eric today.
All right, fellas, first one, alone time. More than half of Americans say alone time is essential to their mental well-being, a new survey found. So, don't feel bad about kicking your spouse out of the house for a few hours or asking your family who are visiting for the holidays to entertain themselves for the evening. As I age, according to Brado, I find this to be more and more true. What say the Dutchmen?
All about a little bit of me time.
Yeah, buddy, I do it. Like I said, I try to battle the amount of me time that I have because of since I've got my garage conducive for hiding. I find myself hiding in there every now and then.
Janelle thinks it's weird, and probably a lot of people will say it's weird, but I enjoy playing golf by myself. It's a good alone time. 4-day work week. Tokyo is set to introduce a 4-day work week for government employees in its latest push to help working mothers and boost their record low fertility rates. Many sociologists attribute the plunging birth rates to Japan's unforgiving work culture and rising cost of living. The shift to a 4-day work week has sparked growing interest in the West, where some companies are exploring compressed hours to attract talent seeking better work-life balance. Brado, now this is something I can get behind. How about the Dutchman? Can you see any potential drawbacks?
4-day work week and summer break.
Oh, there's going to be a text. Hey, there's going to be a text to the group thread from Brado, and it's going to be like, not you, Dave. I could have expected it from somebody else, but not you, Dave.
I don't know if you could work 410s. So we always thought. So when I was back in my coal mining days, when we were working that 50-60 swing, we were always super jealous if you could work 4 12s and you could work like Thursday, because we were on nights, and we could work like Monday night to Thursday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, 4 12s. And we'd work off Friday morning and not have to be back to work until Monday night. That would have been like the premier night shift.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do that. Matter of fact, if we did, I might even think about doing that today. If I could go back to doing it again, if we could pick our poison, I think that would probably be a pretty cool shift.
Well, we mentioned Doge up there in the in my topic, which I didn't realize, but maybe should have thought of. But like in the federal government, this is like a big, like they're talking about bringing these people back to work for a reason. I think for certain gigs, maybe 4-day work weeks work. But I think for some things, when most of your businesses are still Monday through Fridays, I don't know how you can do it. Like in my line of work, I mean, it's a 7-day week business, but most of the administrative stuff like we do is a Monday through Friday. But I don't know. I worked construction one summer on 410s, and it was when Thursday afternoon rolled around and you knew you were done. That was kind of nice, but
I'd say your accompanying professions, like if you you can't have, these people can't work 4 days without these people working 5 days. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like
there's got to be multiple shifts to make it work.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't run anything 410s only.
No,
well, I think the tough spot is
I shouldn't say
some of
nothing,
these. I don't want to paint with a broad brush, but some of the healthcare professionals and dentists and other folks like going to where we're getting Fridays off too. That's a killer. That's tough.
Yeah,
because that's one of those businesses where it's almost you'd be better off nights and weekends.
There again, with your so in my personal experience with a nurse that I know very well, any more than like the 312s in a row is pretty brutal on them.
Yeah,
because not only are they dealing with their commute, their shift, but the mental load that they deal with on a daily basis is absolutely mind-blowing.
I guess I'm talking about you go to get your teeth cleaned. Hey, you got a Friday afternoon appointment?
Oh, no,
we're closed.
Out. Yeah, we're out.
Oh, that's tough. Healthy masculinity. Some high school boys are starting to talk about gender, sex, and other sensitive subjects at clubs designed to help them grow up to be good men. It's a safe space for the students to discuss their feelings, expectations, and self-worth. Interesting topic here, Dutchman. As more and more students grow up without a father figure in the household, what role, if any, should schools play in guiding young men to be responsible fathers and adults?
Well, I think everybody needs to be cussed at for holding a flashlight wrong.
Yeah. But you're not going to get cussed out by a teacher for holding a flashlight wrong.
I don't know that it should.
Maybe they have like a club. Yeah, like a club that's like a extracurricular type deal. That's maybe you sign up at the school, but realistically, it's not really affiliated with the school. You know what I mean? Like a He-Man Woman Haters Club, but like, hey, the sign-up's going to be in 4th period at Mr. So-and-so's class.
In your health class, but
yeah,
the meetings take place
but we're going to meet
Teen Outback.
Yeah, we're going to meet down here at the city park.
I don't
in the Northeast Shelter. Something.
I don't think it's something the school because a lot of schools are attached to the government side of it.
Yeah,
and you go ahead and talk to 50% at 40. 8% of the country on either side, and one side's going to tell you that you don't need the parents at home, and one side's going to say keep your politics and business out of our school. So I think you see like a lot of athletes that are part of some of these like gentleman organizations where guys learn how to tie ties and hold doors open. And I mean, I think that's good if you've got
boys
people,
and club, boys and girls club, and
different things like outlets like that. I think that is good because you're right. You don't know what you don't know and have to be taught that. So, one of those things. All right, Brado, thank you. And, of course, thank you to Merkley & Sons. It's time for one more trip around the table for some final thoughts, brought to you by Blessinger Insurance. Our buddy Chad Blessinger of Blessinger Insurance wants to thank all the new and existing customers that trusted Chad in 2024 with all their insurance needs. With that said, December is a perfect time to take a look at your insurance portfolio and make plans for 2025. Whether you added an addition to the house and need to readjust your homeowner's insurance, or you need to double-check your amounts on your life insurance, Chad is ready to help you. Chad wants to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and Chad stands ready to assist you for all your insurance needs in 2025. All right, Smoke Dragon, final thoughts as you battle your restless leg syndrome.
Well, I suppose I don't have a whole lot different than I had on Wednesday. Gonna be rainy. Weather's gonna suck. It's going to be warm, it's going to be cold, and it's going to be wet. So, stay dry, stay warm, and, stay out of jail.
Big fella.
Well, this one right here comes out on December the 20th, Friday, December the 20th. That leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4 days before the big fella comes.
Good. Good math.
So, folks at home, listen. The big fella is going to be calling in for reinforcement on those last minute gifts and stocking stuffers and stuff like that. So, get your shit together, get your Christmas shopping done. Don't put too much stock in the materialistic bullshit. Enjoy Christmas for the reason of the season, and keep your stick on the ice, and Merry Christmas.
Big thank you to Bob's Liquors, Dubois County Tire and Supply, Love Excavating, Merkley & Sons, and of course Blessinger Insurance. Enjoy this weekend before the holiday. Spend the time with the ones you love. Kind of pre-plan your stuff. We're doing a little something different at the Lindemann household for Christmas Eve. Kind of doing a heavy hors d'oeuvre mini taco bar to just be able to just spend time playing games and cards and hanging out and just not getting bogged down cooking a big meal.
Christmas Eve, you are?
Yeah.
At your house?
No, at Papaw
Frankie's.
Yeah. So, but anyways,
other
than
than
that,
game going on?
What's that?
You gonna play euchre?
Yeah, probably. Gonna get Zoe loves playing Mexican trained dominoes. She loves it. She's turning a little domino hawk. She's gonna be down there with the Cubanos playing playing dominoes. But big thank you, appreciate it. Obviously, we got to figure out a holiday recording schedule.
Yeah, we'll work that out.
But hell, we may be spending Christmas together.
Who knows? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, there we are.
Dutchman out.